Hello everyone, Relgan here to show you another ZvT game that I played against GM Terran. Last game I showed you it was more about Sky Terran. We saw this weird Liberator Banshee Viking Ghost composition. This time I want to show you some more traditional mech. Like the ground based mech with the tanks, the force, the hellbats, some liberators I believe. All the good jazz. So what we're seeing from me is a really fast Slayer at the 2-minute 30 mark. He of course scouted it, as any good Terran would. I delay my link speed, I get a fast Spire, and I'm ready to go into the game. The build I used for this was Pool, Hedge, and then a Gas. As soon as I started my lair I got a second Gas, and now we are already at the center stages of the game. At this point I'm feeling a little bit threatened by Hellbats. I'm not sure if he even has an armory. He does not. But I'm feeling threatened by Hellbats, so I'm making a lot of links to deal with them, and I have all these queens, which are of course also good against Hellions and against Liberators and Banshees that might come my way. So right here I'm losing some workers that I shouldn't, but my Mutalisks are just in time to deal with these Liberators, cleaning them up easy peasy. Supply wise I'm a little bit ahead right now, 10 supply ahead. 2 more workers. I'm of course pumping a lot more workers as any Zerg would as soon as they feel safe. He has all these Hellions that do not really threaten me too much right now. It's of course also hard for me to do damage with my Mutalisks as he already has Liberators, potential Widow Mines and turrets. So I'm doing whatever I can, taking all the units that I can with me. And I'm getting my third base. He on the other hand already finished his third, is deploying the mules from it. So we're in a pretty standard position. Getting my +1/+1 upgrade. At this point I did not fully realize that he was going mass air, but I still think I would get my melee upgrades. I'm getting my Roach Warren to deal with his Hellions and to deal with his air units. I'm feeling pretty confident right now. The Spire I'm getting the attack upgrade. I usually should get the armor upgrade I think, because it helps more against the Liberator. Especially if I want to build Corruptors later on. If you see they had the annoying Reaper that scouts everything. I have these Lings ready for a counter attack. He has a very weak ground force right now. Of course the Liberators can help. They also have to deal with the Mutalisks, but he has this turret here that completely keeps him safe from my small Mutalisk flock. I'm not really building more right now because Mutalisks are really bad against Liberators. As you can see here, they just die so quickly. Morphing a lot of Banelings right now for a Baneling run by. Not sure what I'm microing them around for, but this is the point at which I feel like after scouting his army, I felt like, well, maybe I have something that I can do to do some damage to him. So I assembled my Ravager, Ling, Baneling, Corruptor army to try and give it a go. Supply wise I'm ahead right now, I'm getting my Infestation Pit at home, I'm getting my 2-2. So I somewhat would like to do some damage right now, weaken his mech force before he pushes out. But it's proving to be quite difficult. I'm doing some damage. I killed some tanks, I killed some of his air army. Those spies could have ended the game right there had he not moved his army back, but he did. So I have this Infestation Pit, meaning I can morph the Hive. And since I can't really do anything right now other than build these units, I have to wait for the Hive, which I didn't even start yet. Though I'm building 12 tumors at a time. Really amping up the creep spread. I kind of want to do to make sure he does not take too fast of a fourth, do some damage to him, weaken his force so that he does not get too big of a ball. So I move all these Banelings in, they do not really do too much. This was a really bad attack. The first one was kind of okay, the second one complete garbage. Like I killed, I'm not sure if I killed even a single unit right here. I just threw a lot of my supply away. What I do have, however, is 5 bases running. I only mine minerals from these because I don't really need too much gas right now, as I do not have my hive finished. And he is taking his fourth. If the Mech turn takes his 4th, he will soon push usually. So I think that's what he does as well. He takes his 4th and then he gets ready to push out and punish me. I morph these banelings once again to try and do some counter harassment. He is building, he's getting his Liberator air upgrades right now. Scanning, seeing my army, smelling the weakness as I'm currently waiting for my Ultralisks and Vipers and stuff. Morphing some Swarm hosts, not sure if that was the best idea. And he's ready to move out. So it never really looks so scary from the... if you look at the whole army as a Zerg, it never really looks too scary. But it gets really scary in the fight, because all these Liberators are going to do a lot of damage. So I'm going in. My Corruptors could be better spread, my Swarmos go in, they deploy their Locusts and try to do their damage. My Queens are not really landing their Transfuses. I did land some good Corrosive Biles though. Supply wise I'm about 20 supply ahead, of course a lot of it is in production, 18 roaches in production right now. Trying to do some damage here with my Locusts. Killing the last Liberator. Not quite. He lands the mules to repair his units. These were not men and mules, they were meant to repair the force that were almost dying. So now he's laying siege upon this base, but I have a lot of roaches. And roaches do actually pretty well against force, as long as you have enough of them. But the banshees are doing damage to them. Everything is doing damage to my poor roaches. The Hellbats cleaned the mineral line. And I'm in a pretty bad position right now. So at this point I was like, well, bring the follow-up, I'm going to die anyways. Now even in supply. And he retreats. I was a little bit surprised by him retreating. I don't really have any queens left to inject. As soon as the fight is over, I reassess my economy, my economic situation. I see too many drones here, too many drones there. I could drone up that mineral line a little bit. My creep spread is really handy right now, allowing me to see these Hellions move across the map, though my reaction is practically non-existent, allowing them to freely drive into my 4th base or 5th base and harassing my workers. So let's see at this position. What he does have is this tank Liberator Banshee army. He has this 1-4, but that's not really too decisive right now. At home he has a triple starport, he has 4 factories, he's getting his air upgrades. I on the other hand already have the Hive, I have the Ultralisk Cavern, I'm getting the 3rd armor upgrade, I have double Spire to start those upgrades. I'm a little bit starved in terms of minerals, but we're both about even actually after that first exchange. That went really bad for me. That's what I felt. I of course lost all the Swarmos and things like that, so that's not helping. At this point I'm scared of him having a 5th base already. Like, if he only has 4 bases, then I'm ahead economically. But if he already has a 5th, that's bad. So I notice he has no 5th. Well, what does that mean? It means here comes the next one. So he's getting ready for the next push. I look at my army and I realize, shit, I have nothing. So, like, I have really nothing here. So I have to somehow evacuate my drones, save them, get out my Ultralisks. I then micro my queens walk into their death. I'm feeling all around horrible. My Ultralisks are still in production. I have all these Corruptors that don't really do too much against this army right now, as I'm scared of these tanks. But I do have a Viper. So in this position I had to think, well, I'm even in, I didn't know that I'm even in supply, but I kind of expected it. And I had to make it, the best out of it. So I do have a lot of drones, but the drones won't help me. Army supply wise I'm behind. My Viper does not have the energy yet, it's still sucking. My Ultralisk is at the very far back, my Greater Spire is not done. All I have are some Corruptors and a very weak Roach Flock. So let's see what I do. I go in, blinding Cloud on 3 of the tanks. My Corruptors are cleaning up his air units. The 2 Ultralisks come in, start cleaning up. So I'm like, well, okay. he has almost no hellbats left, so what do I need is links. It's links, I need links. I can deal with his air units, I still have all my corruptors, air units are not going to be the problem, but I have to clean up this ground army. So I go in, I see the last hellbat, I know I have to take it down, I know if I can get on top of the tanks, I can kill them with links. Now I'm like, well, it's Broodlord time. My Crater Spire finally finished. Supply-wise I'm now actually ahead. It looked like I was going to die. I made these two Mutalisks by accident, they were not intended. The Ultralisk cleans up the last of his army. I still have sick creeps spread all over the map. Like he moves out, I see it. This Liberator does a lot of work. I was like, well, I'm not going to move away all these drones, just let them mine. The Liberator did a lot of damage, killing 14 I believe. Putting me behind in this game. Economy wise. If you look at the income, actually I'm ahead. I think he does not have enough mules, or his of course his workers are not mining yet as he is transferring them. So I go with my links, I scout, I see okay we see Hellbats, Force and Liberators and Vikings, meaning he is getting ready for my Broodlords. Now if you look at the production tab, I'm producing more roaches. Roaches are not really that good, but Ravagers are. I don't not really have the gas though, so I need links as well. I need to produce links because I have to somehow spend my minerals. I then realize, well, if he is building all these air units, then queens might be an option. So I produce some queens to transfuse my Ultralisks and Broodlords, and I'm starting to move in with this big army. So I know that he has some tanks, so I shoot away with my Broodlords, making him move. Then my Ultralisks come in from the top. My Corruptors are starting to die very rapidly to his Vikings and Liberators. My Ultralisks completely run amok. My Queens... well... my Queens made sure that his units had to run away. He has all these sensor towers to show the army, to spot my army, but it doesn't really matter if he knows my army is there, if he cannot kill it. So after making his 5th expansion lift and leave, I realized that I have to take, that all I have to do is not lose my entire army, like I'm doing right now. So I was like, fuck, now all my Broodlords are dying. So what do I do if all my Broodlords die? Well, building Corruptors won't really help me, right? He already has this Viking count and I cannot really win with Corruptors. Then I realized, well, I already have Vipers anyway, so I might as well. But my Vipers first need the energy. Since he's going for a very Skytas heavy composition, throwing some parasitic bomb on these units really helps. I can abduct the tanks and things like that. And the special thing that I'm doing right now is not burying this link, but I'm going for the Hydra Den. Now the Hydra Den is a choice that I make right here because I realized that he has a lot of Vikings. Vikings do well against Corruptors, do well against Broodlords, but against Queens and Hydralisks they're not that good. I do not really have the ranged upgrades, so the Hydralisks are not that effective yet. But it kind of means that he has to build more Liberators or at least siege more on the ground. Since I already have a decent Corruptor flock, the Vikings might not be enough, especially if I land some parasitic bombs. So Hydralisks are really helpful as they deal insane damage both to the air and the ground as long as they do not get sniped by the Liberators. Now, Ultralisk wise, I'm very low. Like, I have one Ultralisk, I have all these queens that are spreading creep all the way into his... not sure what base that is. Here we see some cute Hydralisk harassment, just wasting some of his APM. Here we see a classic misstep. So, he's expanding downwards, but he's moving all his army up here. Now, I'm not sure if this immediately triggers me to move. But yes, it does. So I know that he goes up there, so I was like, well, if all his army moves up there, I just go down here, do damage with my circlings, then his army has to move back here, and it was already on the way, so there's no way the army is in position if the army was over here just a minute ago. So right here I can move in, throw down the parasitic bomb, abduct the tanks. The one Ultralisk survived all the way through. I have the Broodlords that do some harassment and I win the game. Now, this was a very, very weird game. We saw Me almost dying 2 times right in the middle. Just, some swarm hosts, they definitely helped. I used some Ravager Corruptor Queen army to defend this army to defend against the army in the middle. Then I later followed it up with a Broodlord push, making him unsiege and the Ultralisks running amok right in this area, before I eventually cleaned it out with a Hydralisk, Viper, Broodlord, Queen, Corruptor, Ultralisk army. So I hope this game helped you guys and will make it easier for you to understand how to deal with Mech. And I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Bye.